A pickup truck is supposed to be the one thing you own that you never have to think about. You buy it, you haul with it, you drag the boat to the lake, and the next cold morning it just turns over and goes. That is the deal. That is the whole reason a man buys a truck instead of a car. So it is a special kind of betrayal when the truck itself is the thing that lets you down. And I am not pulling this out of thin air. This list comes straight off the government recall records at the highway safety folks, the reliability data out of Consumer Reports, the lawsuits sitting in federal court, and the plain truth that mechanics tell each other about which trucks keep coming back through the shop door. I am Frank. I am 71 years old, and I spent 34 years at the General Motors truck plant in Flint, Michigan, building the trucks a lot of you are driving right now. Started on the line, retired a master tech, I have had more of these engines apart on the bench than I can count. Today I am counting down 15 trucks that a man your age could genuinely regret buying in 2026, and exactly why. We are going from keep an eye on it all the way up to how in the world did this get out of the factory. One honest thing before we start. Not every truck on this list is junk, and a couple of them are good trucks having a bad run. Getting on this list is not about the badge. It is about what breaks, what it costs you, and whether anybody is going to help you pay for it. Let us get into it. Number 15. The Ford F-150 Lightning. Now I will give it this. It is quick, it is quiet, and for a fella who only runs to town and back, an electric truck is not a crazy idea. Here is the problem. Inside that big battery pack, the cells can short out on their own, and when a battery cell shorts, it can catch fire. Ford recalled these and told owners to stop charging past 80% until the fix was done. Think about that. The company is telling you to only half fill your own truck so it does not burn in your driveway. It is the mildest one on this list. But a truck you cannot fully charge and cannot fully trust is a strange thing to pay $70,000 for. Number 14. The brand new Toyota Tacoma, the 2024 and the 2025. The Tacoma has one of the best reputations of any small truck on the road, earned over 25 years. But Toyota threw out the old engine and the old transmission and started fresh, and the new 8-speed automatic is the weak point. Owners report it jumping into neutral on its own and losing power, some with less than 1,000 miles on the clock. And on the four-wheel drive trucks, mud packs into the back wheels and wears clean through the rear brake hoses until they leak. Toyota recalled better than 220,000 of them over those brake hoses. The engine may turn out fine, but you do not want to be the one who finds out on a brand new truck. Buy the older Tacoma with the proven V6 and let somebody else test the new one. Number 13. The Ford F-150 with the 3.5-liter EcoBoost, the twin-turbo V6, from about 2017 through 2020. Strong engine, pulls like a freight train, but it has parts inside called cam phasers that wear out early. First thing you hear is a rattle on a cold start, like a coffee can full of bolts. Ignore it and it turns into a timing problem, and a timing problem in this engine is a very expensive day. Here is what will boil your blood. Ford put out a program to cover it, then called the noise a customer satisfaction item and said it did not affect safety or performance. A $4,000 engine repair, filed under satisfaction, and that coverage expired back in January of 2023. Buy one used today and that whole bill has your name on it. Before you sign, make them prove the phaser work was already done. Number 12. The Chevy Silverado 1500 and the GMC Sierra alongside it, 2014 through 2019, with the 5.3-liter V8. And this one is my own house, so I am not going to dodge it. General Motors built a good motor, then hung a gimmick on it called active fuel management that shuts off half the cylinders to save a little gas. The lifters that do that collapse. When a lifter goes, it wipes the camshaft and metal goes through the whole engine. You hear a tick, then a misfire, and the truck is running on 6 cylinders. There is no recall on it. It is a known defect General Motors sold for years and handled with a service bulletin. Catch it the day it starts, maybe $1,200. Let it go, and you are into the cam and every lifter, 3 to 7,000. Want one of these? Find the version without the cylinder shutoff, or pay a man to delete it before it eats itself. Number 11. The brand new Ram 1500, the 2025 and the 2026. Nice riding truck, always has been. But the whole dashboard is a screen now, and that screen goes black. A software glitch blanks it out while you are driving. No speedometer, no gear indicator, no warning lights, nothing to tell you the truck is in trouble. Ram recalled these twice for it in 4 months, the same failure both times. And Consumer Reports just ranked the Ram 1500 dead last of all 5 full-size trucks for reliability, mostly on the electronics. When I came up, a dashboard was a needle and a light bulb, and it never once shut off on you. Now it reboots like a computer, and sometimes it does not come back. Number 10. The Hyundai Santa Cruz, the 2022 through 2024. Half of you are already saying that is not a truck, and I hear you, but it has a bed and folks are buying it instead of a real one. Hyundai put a dual-clutch transmission in it. Not a normal automatic. It is a computer working a manual gearbox, and the oil pump inside it fails. When it does, the truck loses power, shudders, jerks, and drops dead from a stop. One owner had it happen at 2,000 miles. Hyundai recalled the 2022 trucks. But the 2023 and the 2024, same transmission, never got the recall. So if you buy the newer one with the identical problem, there is no recall to fall back on. Out of warranty, that gearbox is $8,000 to $10,000, and it does not stay fixed. Number 9. The Ram 1500 with the 5.7-liter Hemi, 2014 through 2020. Everybody loves the Hemi and the sound of it. Here is the trouble, and it is the same disease Chevy has with a different badge. The Hemi has cylinder deactivation too, and the lifter for it collapses. Folks call it the Hemi tick. You hear a tick 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 at idle, and that is a lifter starting to go. Once it wipes the cam lobe, metal rides through the whole engine. There is no recall. What there is a stack of lawsuits against Ram over exactly this. Independent shop, $2,500 to $4,000 for the lifters and the cam. If the metal grenaded the motor, a replacement engine is $7,000 to $11,000. Same gimmick, same failure, 2 different companies. You noticing a pattern yet? Number 8. The Rivian R1T. Fast, clever, and the people who love them really love them. But Consumer Reports scored it a 20 out of 100 for reliability and put it on the 10 least reliable vehicles in America. It is not one big thing. It is that the truck keeps going back. Recall after recall for the steering, the suspension, the seat belts, and here's the one that gets me. Bolts that were never tightened right at the factory. Seat belt anchors, suspension parts. When something big does break, you are waiting on a young company that is still figuring out how to fix them. The battery is covered a long time, so the truck will not usually bankrupt you. It will just spend a lot of its life at the shop instead of your driveway. Number 7. The Nissan Frontier, the 2005 through 2010 with the automatic. These are cheap, and they look like a lot of truck for the money. Here is what the seller will not tell you. The transmission cooler is built inside the radiator, and the thin wall between them cracks. Transmission fluid and engine coolant mix into a pink sludge. Mechanics named it the strawberry milkshake of death. That milkshake runs through the automatic and destroys it from the inside. Nissan stretched the warranty, and there was a lawsuit over it, but every bit of that coverage has expired. These trucks are all 16 to 20 years old now. You pay for all of it. A new radiator and a rebuilt transmission runs $4,000 to $5,000 on a truck worth maybe $5,000. That is not a bargain. That is a total loss with a tailgate. Number 6. The Jeep Gladiator with the manual transmission, 2020 through 2023. It is a good-looking truck, and a Jeep with a bed is a fun idea, but the clutch pressure plate overheats and fractures. It comes apart inside the bell housing, and it is a fire risk. Here is how you know it is bad. Jeep recalled it 3 separate times over the same clutch. First, they rerouted a wire. Then they added software to cut the power. Then, when neither one held, they gave up and recalled it again to replace the whole clutch. 3 swings at the same defect. When a company has to recall the same part 3 times, that is not a fix. That is a company hoping you go away. Buy the automatic and you skip the whole mess. Quick favor before we get to the top 5, and these last ones are the worst of the bunch. If this is saving you from an expensive mistake, do me a favor and tap that like button. It costs you nothing, it takes a second, and it helps this old plant rat reach the next fella who is about to sign for the wrong truck. All right, onward. Number 5. Now we are into the serious end. The Ram 1500 Eco Diesel, the little 3-liter diesel, 2014 through 2019. On paper it is wonderful, diesel torque and good mileage and a half-ton. In the real world, a part called the exhaust cooler cracks from the heat. The coolant turns to vapor, gets sucked into the intake, and catches fire inside the engine. That is a fire under your hood while you are driving. Ram recalled better than 100,000 of them. There was a settlement, and it pays $3,000 to owners who already had a fire, with a police or fire report to prove it. Read that again. The settlement has a line item for after your truck already caught fire. If a senior wants diesel torque, walk right past this one and buy a heavy-duty Cummins instead. Number 4. The Tesla Cybertruck. It was sold as bulletproof and indestructible, the toughest truck on earth. Here is the reality. That stainless steel trim panel along the roof is glued on, and the glue lets go, and the panel peels off the truck at highway speed. Tesla recalled every single one they had built, more than 46,000 trucks over that one panel. And it is not the only recall, it is one of about a dozen. On top of that, the insurance companies are starting to drop it. One big insurer has been telling Cybertruck owners it will not renew them, because the thing costs a fortune to fix and no normal body shop can even work on stainless steel. For something pitched as the toughest truck on earth, it turned out to be awful delicate in all the wrong places. When your insurance company runs away from a truck, that is your answer right there. Number 3. The Ford 6.0-liter Power Stroke Diesel, the 2003 through 2007 Super Duty. Ask any diesel mechanic in America to name the worst used diesel, and this is the first name out of his mouth. It kills you in a chain. The oil cooler clogs. That chokes the exhaust cooler fails, the engine overheats, and it blows the head gaskets, because Ford did not put enough bolts holding the heads down. And to fix the head gaskets right, you do not pop the valve covers. You lift the whole cab off the frame. Here is the part that ought to make you mad. A court found that Ford knew this engine was defective and sold it anyway. Ford's own emails said the warranty repairs were costing them $5 million a month. You buy a 6.0 cheap. That is the bait. Then it takes back every dollar you saved, and a stack more. Number 2. And this is the one that is going to hurt, because it is the truck nobody expects. The Toyota Tundra, the 2022 through 2024, with the new twin-turbo V6. Toyota, the name that built its whole reputation on lasting forever. They left metal shavings inside these engines when they built them, and that grit works into the main bearing that holds the crankshaft and chews it up. The truck knocks, runs rough, and stalls out in traffic. Toyota recalled more than 270,000 of them across 3 separate recalls. And here is the gut punch. At first, Toyota was replacing the whole engine. Now they have quietly downgraded the fix to an inspection, where a computer decides if your engine is bad enough to replace. When even Toyota is trying to inspect its way out of replacing a bad engine, you know we are in strange times. Buy the older Tundra with the 5.7 V8, the one that actually earned the reputation. Number 1. And it lands right back home, on my own company. The Chevy Silverado 1500 and the GMC Sierra 1500, 2021 through 2024, with the 6.2-liter V8. Down in the bottom of the engine, the connecting rod bearings fail. When one lets go, It can seize the engine solid or punch a rod clean through the block. And it does not happen in the driveway. It happens at 70 miles an hour in traffic, and the truck just dies. General Motors recalled close to 600,000 trucks and SUVs over it. Free repair, up to a whole new engine. Sounds fine. Here is the part that turns my stomach. The government has now opened an investigation into whether the fix even works, because 36 of these trucks failed again after they got the recall repair. Some got the new engine, and the new engine failed too. I spent 34 years building trucks with that name on the tailgate, and I am standing here telling you the fix might not fix it. When the repair itself is under investigation, you do not buy the truck, you wait. So there they are, 15 trucks that can turn into an expensive regret in 2026. From a battery you can only half charge all the way up to an engine whose own recall is under investigation. And notice the pattern. Almost none of these are cheap truck problems. These are new trucks, expensive trucks, from every badge on the lot. The dealer is not going to volunteer a word of it, because there is no money in telling you which truck to skip. None of this means every one of these trucks will fail on you. It means you buy with your eyes open, you check the recall before you fall in love with the paint, and you make them prove the work was done. So let me ask you, which truck have you owned that either went the distance or left you stranded on the shoulder? Drop it in the comments, I read every one. And if you want the whole thing written down, the traps to dodge and the models to chase and the ones to walk away from, I put it in a book called The Right Ride. I am not going to hard sell you. There is a link in the description if you want it. Either way, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe so the next fella finds this too. Check the recall before you fall in love with the paint. This is Frank.